What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? I see. Let's go ahead and do a little roll call. Let's see, we got the brother Daryl Long in the building. What's going on, boss man? Of course, we got Helmet Chili in the building. What's going on, brother? Hey, Seek. We got Seek in the building. She's probably laughing right now. So, at some point, one of my close friends is going to come on. He's a mental health professional. And how that ties into everything that we're going to talk about tonight with Ed Reed and this Bethune-Cookman situation is I watched Ed Reed earlier as he was announcing to the players and some of the team staff that he would be leaving the college, and it wasn't because he wanted to, it's because they were forcing him out. And Bethune-Cookman came out and said that, basically tried to put it in a way like he was leaving on his own. And he was super emotional, and he was saying that he actually wanted to stay. We'll watch that video here in a minute, but I kind of want to lay this thing out. Bethune-Cookman basically forced his brother out. He was facing some of the same issues that Coach Prime faced at Jackson State. I did a stream not too long ago, and I talked about actually coaching against Coach Prime in Dallas in one of the worst neighborhoods that the city can muster up, right? So I've had personal interactions with Coach Prime, and every time I've had an opportunity to talk to him, he was always amongst the people. He was always cordial, and it was always about the kids. And I think even now, you know, for his age, he considers these young adults, these young men and young women as kids, which they are, even for my age. So the conversation that I want to have is, at what point culturally are we going to prioritize keeping the talent within our community? When we watched this video to show how distraught this brother was, man, and how emotional he was, and he talked about his own nephew having to, you know, he recruited his own nephew to come to this HBCU, and then for everything to end the way, you know, to end the way that it did, it says a lot about how we're programmed. Shout out to the common sense expert. I'm gonna put some of these up while I'm gonna try to multitask for y'all, right? Seek, I know you had that laugh going. I know you was giggling. You probably giggling now. But shout out to the common sense expert. Appreciate you joining, brother. Appreciate everybody being here. Couple things we're gonna do, and I'm not gonna have y'all too long. I know that Saturday night is prime time for pimping, and a lot of y'all got a lot of places that y'all can be, but I'm glad you're over here rocking out with me. But I was watching this video earlier, man, and it actually, I'm not an emotional guy. I'm not I'm extremely logical. If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it doesn't, I'm gonna try to figure out why. But when I was watching this video with Ed Reed, and I was watching how emotional he was, how he was breaking this thing down, and how he was talking about everything that he wanted to accomplish, it hit me in a way that I felt bad for this brother. But then, in true fashion and the way that we should move and operate, Coach Prime called him. Coach Prime called him in the middle of a meeting. The brother who was recording it, or who was live and actually who was showing his speech, answered the phone, and he was talking, and Coach Reed, or Ed Reed, was telling him, "Hey, hang the phone up, hang the phone up." And the guy says, "Hey, man, it's Prime." And so he put him on speaker, and they had this conversation, man. And the exchange is something that we could take a page out of that book when we know brothers are going through things and we know brothers are dealing with shit. So that's the conversation that I want to have, and that's what I want to put out there. And then, as always, the stream is pinned to the top if anybody want to contribute. Like I said, I'm not gonna have y'all here all night. I know that this is prime time, and for channels that are smaller like mine, I'm gonna rock out in my own little bubble. But for those who are here, I appreciate it. We'll do a quick roll call again. We got the brother Daryl Long stop by. Shout out to you, brother. We got Seek Amethyst. We got Helmet Chili. Appreciate you being here, brother. Appreciate you being here, sister. We got the Common Sense Expert. I appreciate you being here. I'm on Eastern Standard Time, so my homeboy that is a mental health professional and deals with this kind of stuff, I want him to watch this video too. So whenever he come back on, I'll bring it back up. Common Sense Expert says he wasn't even under contract yet. Our people need to get it together. Man, you ain't bullshitting. You got Hall of Fame safety. A Hall of Fame safety. How do you let that slip out of your hands? No different than Jackson State. How do you let a Hall of Fame corner slip out of your hands? Our best and brightest as it relates to sports, the people that have the expertise to teach these young brothers how to be professionals, they have the best chance of getting to the NFL because these brothers have done it at the highest level. How do we let that kind of talent slip out of our hands? And it's something that HBCUs are really going to have to evaluate, and really, even if they need to get talent in from a relationship building standpoint, or from a clerical standpoint, to figure out how to keep this talent in the building, because this is, look at the time span between when Prime left and when Ed Reed left. Shit is crazy, man. I watched something the other day, and I don't know if it's true or not, but it talked about who are really the gatekeepers in the Black community, and they called out the Boule. It might have been on TikTok or something, so you really can't put too much on it. But a lot of these people who are college educated and they are in positions to move people around and they control the inner workings of these schools, they may not be able to relate to these guys who play sports at the highest level. And I know on both ends there's some ego there, but you have to look at the bigger picture. You are affecting the lives of young men and young women because they work on the support staff. But you're affecting the lives of young men and women if your ego get in the way of allowing this brother to take these young men, march them through their college careers, help them with getting these NIL deals, because these brothers obviously got all of the clout that you can really ask for as it relates to professional sports, and more specifically as it relates to pro football. But what I want to do, I want to bring this video up. And we're going to watch. It's about 15 minutes long. We'll stop it in between and kind of talk through it. But I want y'all to see how emotional Ed Reed is, because it has something to do with these kids. That's what he kept saying. He kept talking about the kids. He kept talking about the kids. Young men. We have all these conversations on the internet. We talk about what men are and what men ain't. And I'm talking about Black men specifically, what men are and what men are and what men are not. But when you literally have a factory, and I use that term loosely, but you have a factory that can churn out not only high-earning brothers being college educated, with the right leadership and with the right guidance, they have the bandwidth to be role models, right? You have other brothers leading them, kind of that have already paved the way for them. They know every move to make. They have all of the contacts, and we figure out a way to fuck it up. Just like Common Sense Expert said, we got to figure out a way to get this shit together, man. And like I said, maybe it needs to be a changing of the guard at the admin level for some of these HBCUs. I won't go too deep into. I'm not naming anybody from Bethune-Cookman. That ain't what I'm trying to do. But I want to make sure we put it out there, and I want a lot of people to see this video of how emotional this brother was, and then I also want everybody to see how supportive Coach Prime was. And even when he left Jackson and people talked all of that shit, and they was playing all of this music and celebrating in the stadium when he was leaving, he goes to Colorado. They give him the best of everything: bigger office, new car, better field. How can you be mad at that? What if somebody came to your job right now and told you, hey man, I'm gonna double, triple your salary. You have a company card, unlimited. You would go. Regardless of the color that they are. You would go. So what I want to do, I want to dive deeper into this whole situation. And there may be some people in the chat, or there may be some people who stop by who know a lot more about the situation than me. But from what I saw today, man, like I said, I felt for that brother Ed Reed, but that feeling was instantly replaced with a feeling of pride by the way that Coach Prime came in and just really, you can tell that it put Ed Reed at ease. You can tell that it put him at ease. Both of these are Hall of Fame brothers, man, and there was no ego involved. It was all, hey man, I got your back. I got your back. So let's do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna share my screen. All right. And we're gonna check this video out. Let everybody know. Everybody let me know if you can see that. How's the sound on that? Can everybody hear that? How's the sound? See, can you hear it? You said the sound is low. Let's see here. No sound. All right. I got you. Give me just a second. I'm struggle streaming already. Give me just a minute. Give me just a minute. Some of this stuff, I'm a new boot at, so y'all gotta forgive me. Y'all gotta forgive me.
Probably moving too fast for a lot of people. I'm not withdrawing my name as they say. They don't want me here. They do not.
Can you still hear it? No sound. How about we do this? I got you. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Coach Prime said we talked about it. So obviously, Coach Prime told him that something like this had the possibility, something like this could happen. We're gonna dive into it. Sheesh. Hold on, we struggle streaming. Could y'all hear that? That's a bit better. Okay. Let me try to boost it up a little bit. And y'all let me know if the sound is off. You still can't hear Seek? Is the sound still off? It's off, can't hear. Here we go.
Temporary. Temporary. You never know the day nor the hour. None of us know when that.
Is that a little bit better?
You understand? We've been around here trying to change things, and we have, and this has changed quickly. My vision for change is probably moving too fast for a lot of people.
Much better.
I'm not
Appreciate that,
withdrawing my
C.
name, as they saying. They don't want me here. They do not want me here because I tell the truth.
Now, what he said is they put it out that he was withdrawing his name. He was saying that it's not true. He wanted to be there, but they don't want him there. That's what I was talking about, man. If there needs to be a change at the admin level, because what it seems like is you have people that are gatekeeping. And with this gatekeeping, man, you are interrupting the lives of young men who can get out here and actually be productive. You know what happened when they go to PWIs. We got enough stories. People have done enough content on what happens when these young brothers at PWIs end up getting in trouble. You need people like Coach Prime. You need people like Ed Reed. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I've never had this many people here in the recruiting time, and Coach, I've been saying that. We've been here at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. I even slept here one night to make sure I was comfortable, and I was.
Anybody noticing the recurring theme? Dion taking baths in the pool, Ed Reed sleeping at the facility and having to show up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So if Ed Reed goes to Miami, which he spent some time at, which is his alma mater, if he goes to one of these bigger institutions, it'll be the same thing. Oh, black men don't build. It'll be that same bullshit. We gotta figure out a way. We gotta figure out a way how to retain this talent in the community. Since we're talking about building, I always said revolution gonna come one or two ways. And for those of you who have watched my content, you already know what I'm about to say. Revolution comes in one or two ways, or one or two colors. It's either gonna come in red or it's gonna come in green. You're either gonna bleed for it or you're gonna pay for it. One of the reasons why when you see me on YouTube, I'm always supporting brothers' channels. I'm always super chatting. I'm always cash apping. Revolution is not free. For those of you who watch that brother Angry Man, shout out to him, man. Congratulations on his growth. For those of you who watch him, anytime I comment, revolution ain't free. When I was modding for Kevin, whenever we would drop them super chats, revolution ain't free. Keep pushing. If you watch Dr. Tia Johnson, hey, appreciate what you do on the wood. Revolution is gonna come. You're either gonna bleed for it or you're gonna pay for it. One or the other. Let's continue.
My guy.
Look at this.
It's hurt because I know people don't care about these kids like I do. And they should be the ones leaving, not me.
He said, these people don't care about these kids the way I do. They should be the one leaving. Exactly what I just said. Shout out to Brother Torres. Shout out, nephew. He said, they should be the one leaving, not me. Going back to what I was just saying, it feels like there's a lot of gatekeeping that goes on at these HBCUs. And then we wonder like why athletes don't come back, or we wonder why these highly recruited kids don't pick HBCUs. Man, I don't know enough about it, but man, I'm telling you, I hope that the situation is not where you have people in position that won't get out of the way because of ego. Because of ego, the impact that this could have. All of these kids that play select football, which I coached, which my son played. All of these people that play select football, all of these people that play AAU ball, all of these people that do all of these sports, all of these kids, all of these young adults, all of these teenagers that put in all of this work, and even at that age, risking their body, for them to get to the collegiate level and pick a HBCU, we have an opportunity to turn these things into talent factories. Not just in sports, but you talk about a lot of these kids are bright. A lot of these kids are bright. They gotta be, especially for PWIs to try to pick them up. They gotta have good SAT scores. Let's get it.
Because I don't want to. Why?
Finance man, it's not about firing him. It's about not retaining him at all costs.
Because Jeremy Greaves who father I looked in the eye. And y'all mothers and fathers who I talked to last night, even though I knew they didn't want me. I took $2,400 out of my pocket and still gave it to the host.
That sound familiar? I took $2,400 out of my own pocket. Who else did that? Anybody noticing the recurring theme? Anybody noticing the recurring theme? He took $2,400 of his own money. These people got money already. Prime got money already. Ed Reed got money already. They're Hall of Famers. To take on this endeavor, to try and give back, man, I take my hat off to these brothers. And I'm not saying that they're perfect. I'm not saying that they are saints. I'm not saying that they've done no wrong. I'm saying that even in the midst of all of that, you can see where that loyalty lies. They can easily go get a desk job on ESPN. They can easily go get a desk job somewhere else, but they're going to these HBCUs and trying to give back. But black men don't build, huh? Let's continue.
To host these young men, shit, at this point, I'd do it for free. Because I have been for the last 3 weeks. That man have too. He drove from New Orleans because he believed in me and my vision. And that man right there who flew from California less than 2 hours and got off the plane, and he was here to see the rant. He got off the plane, and what we started doing, young man?
Man, it's like, so watching this again, really, and I don't know why not that I'm taking it personal, but I know the frustration that they feel. I know the frustration that they feel, man. He did the same thing Prime did, brought other brothers in who want to give back. Putting people on planes, flying them out. Let's continue.
Motherfuckers. Yeah, I curse. And y'all done heard curse words before. They got parents in here. And no, I don't want to leave. And like I told you, I want all these
Facts, finance, man, facts.
But they got some corrupt people in this world, some evil people that don't care about kids like I do. So I want y'all to hear the truth from me. I ain't withdrawing my name. I got the receipts. They got all kinds of stuff going on around here, hoarding these buildings with nothing but trash in them. You understand me? And Dion was right. And I know I'm right. And they got some people in here who be snitching to their ass. And I work amongst Judas as Jesus walked with him.
Hold up. Y'all missed that one. Y'all missed that one. I'm not a Bible thumping dude. I'm not overly religious. I'm probably part of the worst group of Christians that you can come across, because I know I can do better and still don't. But listen to what he say.
And I work amongst Judas as Jesus walked with him. And I ain't have a problem with it. Because even Jesus prevailed.
Sir.
And what God got for you, no man can take.
Sir.
I told these young men, I don't care who we play, because I don't. My nephew was transferred here. My nephew right there. They want me to leave my nephew here. Am I lying now?
No, sir.
He been getting a bad break at Southern. Some evil people, man, that don't care about your kids. But I was here because I wanted them all, like I told y'all last night, and I still do. And if
More
somebody
dudes,
gave me a
brother.
job, they all could come. Probably won't happen. But I'll tell y'all this. My brother died 11 years ago around this time, and we buried him. And I was in the NFL in the cold tub icing when I found out. And I didn't go home. I played the game on Sunday because that's what he would want me to do.
Yes, he Southern too. His nephew was at Southern. He transferred from Southern to go to Bethune-Cookman with his uncle. I was trying to let that ride out, but I was hoping y'all picked that up.
just like I want y'all to keep going, regardless of what happens today. Young men, that's what I've been telling y'all. Right?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Pick up trash tomorrow, because that's what we would do, right?
Yes, sir.
We was gonna do it anyway, right?
Yes, sir.
Jaden, where you at? What you said, Jaden, last Sunday?
Do it every week.
I'm not withdrawing my name as Reggie Thea's ass want me to do. He the one, and whoever else with him. You can't be an AD and a head coach. It's impossible. I worked at the University of Miami for 3 years and I saw it.
Talk to me.
And I know.
Yeah, we in there live right
You
now.
understand?
Pay attention.
Hang
Pay
up the phone,
attention.
We in there live right now.
Roll.
Yeah, it's prime.
Did y'all hear that? The phone went off and the guy that's recording answered it. And he said, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. He said, it's prime. Brother, so the guy's live with Ed Reed phone. Right? So it's showing on Ed Reed's, I don't know if it's IG or Twitter or whatever, but it's showing on Ed Reed's phone. Dion see it and immediately call up. Shh. Let's keep watching.
Roll.
Yeah, it's prime.
It's prime.
Yeah.
Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's bigger than football.
Protection.
Teaching these young men about life. They ain't seen the play yet. We don't even have a practice field.
God damn it. So I promise I'm gonna stop stopping this. Cleaning up trash, prime and Ed Reed. Poor facilities, prime and Ed Reed. No field, prime and Ed Reed. I'm gonna let this rock out, and just so we'll kind of set the foundation, but I feel a particular way about this.
Less than a week we've cleared this land y'all see over here. Less than a week. Because a man came from Baltimore who saw me come into his neighborhood when I was a rookie, talked to his neighborhood, his mom strung out on drugs, his daddy not in his life, and I talked to them and he said, I'm here for you. What do you need? I don't want to hear about all the bull. And I talked to him and I took him over there and he met him. He walked out there, my new best friend. He said, man, you don't even know me. His whole demeanor changed when he got back to me. He said, hey, you were right. I said, yeah, we cut that little piece of grass and them snakes showed. And I ain't talking about the rattlers. Bigger than football, mom and dad.
Listen.
We still have kids showing up today for the recruit weekend. We got kids showing up tomorrow. They told me to cancel it and y'all was getting off the plane. Where they do that at? I'm not withdrawing my name. Sis, read the quote. Read the email, sis. Read the email, sis.
You notice the recurring theme. They got family around them.
University has announced that Ed Reed has withdrawn his name from consideration to become the next head football coach at the university. That was just one of the drafts, not the.
It's not happening. I ain't withdraw my name. Y'all saw me last night. Did I sound like I was leaving? Did I sound like this was a problem, like y'all, like I was getting fired or something? Like y'all got me in here lying to these people, man. And I wasn't lying. I was just telling y'all what was real. I got a 14-year-old son who I had to call this morning. He in Atlanta. He had a game, a banquet. I just missed it. I'm sacrificing my own money for these young men.
Shout out
Just
to
last
Finance
night to
Man.
have
Shout
a
out to
good
guy in the
time.
black suit. Appreciate y'all.
And I'm still looking after him. Dante, where you at? Dante Drew, where you at? You lost your wallet, huh? Guess who got it? Your coach. I found it. Ain't that something? Get a young man his wallet and his money and everything in it. Glad you're using protection too.
Read, read.
I just sat, stood, grew up in the eye of the hurricane for a long time. If you know anything about a hurricane, right in the eye is calm. Even in this moment, I'm good. But I hurt for these young men.
Trying to hold it together.
That's what I hurt for. That's what the tears are for. Because I know what we've been working on. So much more than football. I camped for 20 years. I've been doing this, working with kids. CT done it together, and his kid is being recruited now. I had to tell y'all all together, they don't want me here. It's not me. And that's just the truth. It's not me. I would not do that. How would I withdraw my name when I sat with Jordan Johnson? Jeremy Reed's dad and parents looked him in the eye just as I did with y'all last night. Why would I do that? Y'all heard the lie. They lying. They ain't right. They not right. Say me, it ain't right. I spoke the truth. Just because you hear some curse words? Just because you hear curse words? When
Finance man, I got the stream pinned to the top. We're gonna get through this. We got a few more minutes left. More than welcome to call up, brother.
the Ku Klux Klan came in 1904 and stood right outside, and Dr. McClain stood just like this by herself. Come with it. And you weren't about curse words when they got people who are out here trying to kill these young men? No, it ain't me. I knew I wasn't wrong. I ain't care what nobody said. Still don't. I had the best of friends calling me, bro. You can't do
Look at
that.
that.
Man,
Here
get
go
off my
Prime.
phone. You with them. You playing the game. I don't play no game. I ain't got no time to play no games, politics. I never did. They didn't do their research. They thought they was getting, lack of better words, a dumb job.
Hey, so they got the full video out there. Look at Prime. They only showing his eyes. He looking over the fence like a nosy neighbor. Shout out to Coach Prime. But I already respected him before this. But listen to what Coach Prime tell him.
I'm not. That's who y'all had raising y'all kid here. A good man, not perfect. We all make mistakes. And I apologize for mine. And I told them that they have to be professional. It's a teaching moment, as we use it as, right, Jaden? I had individual meetings with these young men, and we started by playing chess. Not checkers. But I said, all of y'all got one move.
I want y'all to listen to what Prime tell us, brother. This is textbook on how to support brothers when they're going through a thing.
Chess, young man.
Look at him nodding his head in agreement. He know what he's going through.
They not even playing checkers. They don't care. They don't care. What's up, big bro?
Hey, I love you, man. You know that, right?
Off the bat, I love you, man.
We
I
talked
do.
about this. We talked about this. We know the structure. We know the order. We know how it was going to play out. And you've been there fighting. I know what you're feeling. I know what you're going through. You got to understand, Ed, God has a time and a place for you, my brother. And I know your heart. I know everything that's going on inside of you. You know, I know you like a book. And I know how you feel about them kids. And I know you do not want to leave those kids.
Appreciate that, Seek. You right.
So I'm
Solidarity.
praying for you right now, man, because this is going to be the toughest thing you ever had to do in your life. Sometimes, Ed, you got to walk away, my brother.
Facts. Guy in the black suit. First sentence. I love you, brother. He saw that brother was hurting, immediately came in.
I know it's tough. I know you don't want to hear it, but sometimes in life, we got to walk away.
You already know, big bro. I
You
appreciate
didn't let nobody down, Ed. You didn't let them kids down. You did what you was called to do, and you tried your best.
Thank you, big brother.
I love you, man. I'm here. I will be on the next flight if you need me. You know that.
How many of y'all got friends like that? I will be on the next flight if you need me. My homeboy daddy died last month. That's exactly what I did. Hopped on the flight, went to the crib.
Nah, you good. You handle your
Okay.
business. You know
Shout out
that.
to Brother
I'll give
Black
you a
Tread.
call.
Please. Hey, you know what God wants from you, man, and be that. Don't let them provoke you, my brother. I love you, man.
Bro.
All right.
Coach Prime, everybody.
I really do appreciate y'all time, taking the time to come, hearing me out.
You can tell he hurting, man. Look at him. That's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy. So I watched that earlier today, and I couldn't help but feel like, damn, man. Back to back, the best and the brightest of what our group has to offer. And we figured out a way to mess it up. The link is in the chat. It's pinned to the top. Interested to hear your perspective. You don't have to agree with me. All I ask is that you're respectful. All I ask is that you actually have a point. I'm at a loss for words, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. And the thumbnail may be misleading, according to finance man. So it may not be necessarily fired, but they let him walk out the door. And that's the part of business we got to be able to nail down and really drive home. Finance man, I know you say you should have went about this a different way, brother. Call in. Well, how should he have went about it? You ain't even got to cam up. How should he have went about it? You think about these brothers risk life and limb to be at the very top of their profession. They could easily ride off into the sunset with big ass checks, nice retirements, nice investments, and they come back to the HBCU. You think about what I don't know what you do, bro, but you think about the amount of hours you put into being good at something, and you take that and try to invest it back into the people, and these are the kind of results you get because you already know what's going to be said if you leave. But shout out to Prime, he's already paved the road for that too. Never post videos of how bad it's going, but this is the thing: these brothers are already set. They don't have to fight for their reputation. It's already there. They've already done the work. They've already done the groundwork for that. So who is he going to upset? The college that is getting him out the door? He said he probably wants to stay 5 years, but once you have goal, you respect the goal. Absolutely. Seek, I appreciate you. This kind of sums up what I'm feeling. Solidarity is important. And then the emotional maturity for Prime to come out and say his first sentence, and guy in the black suit picked it up off bat because I did when I watched it the first time. Soon as he got on the phone, he said, "What's up, big brother?" He said, "I love you, man." Immediate solidarity. To me, that says so much more than I love you, than that he just had love for this brother. He was saying that I recognize that you're hurting. I recognize the extent that you're hurting. And let me at least address that immediately with 3 words. I love you, brother. I'm sorry, 4 words. I love you, brother. Just to set the tone for how this conversation is going to go. He didn't call him being messy. He, he didn't call him and fan the flames. Obviously, they had already had conversations about this. How many of you brothers do that? You got a brother that's going through something, you get on the phone with him. Hey, I love you, bro. That shit gonna be all right. How many of y'all empower your homeboys like that? Bro, I done been around enough, bro, and I'm not an old cat, bro. I done been around enough to where I done lost a lot of friends, bro. Double digits, easy. From high school up until now. I done been around long enough to know, man. I have no problems telling my homeboy, hey, love you, bro. Something might happen to me, something might happen to them, but I don't ever want to have it left in the gray. You're gonna know how I feel about you. If I don't like you, you'll know too, because I'm probably not gonna talk to you. Guy in the black suit, that first sentence, yep. They're suffering, absolutely. You can tell. You can tell, but it's funny how all of this played out. Prime went through it and kind of navigated those murky waters, not giving a damn about what people were saying about him. And in a position now where he has complete power to build this football program. They just recruited the top cornerback in the country out of high school. You have Ed Reed falling away. Imagine if, check this out. So you got DBs doing it right now. You got Prime. And I'm not saying they are the only NFL players that are coaching at HBCUs or that are coaching at the collegiate level. What I'm saying is you have Prime doing it. You have Ed Reed doing it. This is really laying the foundation. You know, what if Jerry Rice decide to do it? What if Emmitt Smith decide to do it? Michael Irvin decide to do it? Troy Polamalu decide to do it? Terrell Suggs decide to do it? Terrell Owens decide to do it? Man, all of these players who are Hall of Fame players, what if they said, man, you know what, this is the wave. This is the wave. We're gonna go ahead and, you know, Brother Jeffrey Whitlock, bro, I feel a way about it too, bro, but I can't even match your disappointment, bro, especially being an alum. And I already know, you know, Miami was a powerhouse when I was coming up. But the point I'm trying to get at is you have Hall of Fame players that are trailblazing. And how do you fuck that up? How do you mess up Hall of Fame players coming back into the culture? I'm probably way more pissed off than I should be, but we just figured out a way to mess this up, man. There's so many other players that are watching shit like this happen. When it's going good, they're kind of like, yeah, man, I wouldn't mind going back to an HCU in my state. I wouldn't mind going back to an HBCU in my state. Hey man, let me check a Grambling out. Hey man, let me check. We got to be more savvy in business than this. Look at all the endorsements. Walmart built the field at Jackson State. Ed Reed, you don't think Ed Reed can, man, especially with these NIL deals, you don't think Ed Reed could get some big money players in there to revamp that whole facility? And it's not a coincidence that him and Prime was doing the same thing, picking up trash on their own, using their own money, sitting in front of these kids' parents, telling them how good it's going to be. You get the kids there and then you get them out the door. My next question is, who else you going to get to come in? And what's going to stop these kids from hopping in the portal the first chance they get? What's going to stop these kids from, man? The link is pinned to the top of the chat if anybody want to call in. That's really what I wanted to cover. I wanted to watch this video, man, and really break it down because there was so many jewels in it. There were so many gems in it. Ed Reed said, I walked with Judas just as Jesus did. I don't know if y'all picked up on that. I know I stopped the video, but I try not to stop it too much because there were so many gems in there. Every time I heard one, I would stop the video and call it out just in case somebody didn't hear. Ed Reed said, I walked with Judas just as Jesus did. When he talked about the snakes, and he said, I'm not talking about rattlers. Y'all might have to go back and watch that. I don't want to keep bringing it up and lull y'all to sleep. But we got to be more savvy in business than this. We got to be more dedicated to the culture than this. If we want to get some different results. Otherwise, we can keep losing all our talent to PWIs. We can keep having alum not come back. have alums start at HBCUs, transfer, go to a PWI, get that prestigious University of Texas or TCU Horned Frog on their degree and never look back. Got to do better than this, man. Our best and our brightest, and we're losing them. And you can tell how distraught that brother was. One of my close buddies, this is my family, honestly, knows about mental health. Is a subject matter expert as it relates to dealing with a lot of stress, but I'll let him actually break it down to y'all, man. Brother Black Tread, what's going on, brother?
What up? What's going on, Playboy?
Shit, I can't call it, man. What you think about that, man? Did you see that video?
Man, I haven't seen all of it. I've seen bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Just from what was, kind of having this viral moments on social media or whatnot. But
Right.
I'm not all that familiar with it, other than Ed Reed kind of stepping away from the program due to reasons that I'm not privileged to. Probably something dealing with money and resources, I'm assuming.
Yeah. He was saying that he actually wanted to stay, and they was kind of forcing him out. They put out a press release, or they put out that he was leaving, and he was saying, "No, I want to stay." He was like, "They're forcing me out." So I think he was bumping heads with probably some of the admin folks or some of the people that some of the top brass there, and they kind of forced him out. He even took his nephew from Southern and brought his nephew to Bethune-Cookman. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different parts to this where it's exactly like the situation that Prime was in. So you had Prime at Jackson State bathing in the pool. You had Prime at Jackson State with poor facilities. He got Walmart to build them the football stadium. You got Ed Reed riding around picking up trash. You know what I mean? And these are things I think that they don't mind doing. They understand that, HBCUs don't have the type of resources as PWIs or bigger programs that bring in a lot of money, whether it be from gate sales, endorsements, whatever the case may be. But I think that so much matches up with the same thing that Prime went through. And I think that when Prime went through it, he kind of showed the way and made it okay for these guys who have all of they have the clout to come in and do the same thing. Yeah, it may not be perfect in the beginning, but you can persevere through it. I will help you as much as I can. Both of them were spending their own money. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the situation as far as what he was dealing with. But I think Prime trailblazed to show that, like, yeah, it's not going to be perfect on the front end, and you may not get everything you want. You may not be able to do everything that you want, but who's better for recruiting, bro? Ed Reed and Deion Sanders. Like, these young kids, man, in the social media age, they watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just landed the top cornerback. Prime did. You know what I'm saying? 2 years straight, he done got the two top defensive backs. You don't think Ed Reed can recruit some safeties? They like, hey man, if I'm gonna learn, I want to learn from that guy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest with you, big bro. You already know how I operate, man.
Yeah. Rock out, shit.
I'm one of those ones, man. People can call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever, man, but I fully believe that there's a system in place that is there specifically to keep Black folks from thriving, bro. And I think
I said the same thing before you came in.
Yeah, it's us too. Don't get me wrong. I think, whether it's our ignorance, our stupidity, our greed as a culture plays a part in it as well. But let's be honest, bro, when Deion was at Jackson State, bro, it spooked a lot of people. It spooked a lot of people at these at these Power Five colleges, bro, because you have a one individual who's single-handedly recruiting some of the top players in the nation to come to a school that very few people even know about. That's scary for some people, bro, especially when
affecting them pockets.
It's
affecting them pockets.
That's exactly what it's doing, bro. It's affecting the bottom line. And you know as well as I know, bro, when you start when you start hitting people in the pockets, bro, that's when the change comes. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
you know, on Ed Reed's part, I think I read something that said something about when he went in to do the contract negotiations. I guess they just had like a handshake deal initially with some terms just kind of spelled out without paperwork. That's Ed Reed's fault, man. You should have locked in that paperwork as soon as that discussion was talked. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they probably, you know, went against you when it was time to sign that paperwork, but at the end of the day, bro, you wasn't under contract. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. It does. Sure. It's a blow to the culture. It's a blow to those kids that were excited about him coming to coach. But the business side of it wasn't handled properly, especially before all the announcements were made. Like, it was a whole publication, Ed Reed's coming to Florida and all this kind of stuff, to Bethune-Cookman, but none of the paperwork was solidified. So,
and he said janky promoters, like
that's exactly what it was. Janky promoters, bro. 100%. Like,
yeah, they told him, hey man, we got, they made the deal on the tailgate of a F-150. Like, hey man, we're gonna sit there and eat ribs together and hash this shit out, man. They had some ribs and a Four Loko and hashed out. I'm
absolutely.
But yeah, bro, like that's why I was saying we got to be more savvy in business too, man. Like, even when, and I know this is kind of, way off the reservation, but even when you look at places like Africa, bro, where they have all of them resources in the ground, right? And you have a lot of hands that play, right? That keep them from getting to the point where they can actually pull those resources out of the ground. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at the government, it's like those are the puppet masters that are kind of in place, or those are the gatekeepers. That's what I was saying. A lot of people say in HBCUs, you have some boule gatekeepers that kind of work behind the scenes, and sometimes they are saboteurs. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like you said, man, it's not far-fetched that people are in place to keep these type of institutions from competing with PWIs. You know what I'm saying? So it's I was joking about the hot link basket on the back of the F-150, man. It's but it seems like those are kind of deals that people make, man. No, more specifically, that's kind of deals that this came out to be, man. Like you said, they should have had it all on paperwork. It should have been one of those things where it's on the wood, it's understood, and then you kind of move from there. But I don't know, man. We got to take a playbook out of some of these other institutions, man, to be able to drive some type of value and change and be able to retain the most talented of our group. Because I can't think of two better brothers from the South, both of them, to come in and really make a difference, make a dent. You know what I mean? Finance man said, I think his nephew went on emotion here. I don't blame him. Stay at Southern and rock it out. He has to rock it out. Yeah, man, it's his uncle. You know what I'm saying? You think about if your uncle is a Hall of Fame safety. I don't know what position his nephew plays, but I'll be willing to bet that he probably had DB. Like, you grow up seeing, that's why I say, bro, this is so much bigger than just not working out at the school. Like, I felt like they had the chance to trailblaze. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can really set the tone. All of them know each other. All of them respect each other for being at the top of their profession. You know what I'm saying? And they coming back into the culture trying to put it on the wood, man. Corporate can be way colder than the streets. Folks are ruthless. Boy, I can tell you some corporate stories, boy. Say that
yeah, hell, Matilda hit it right on the head with that one, bro.
Shit, man, I'm trying to tell you, boy, hey, in corporate, they colder than the stripper's heart, boy. Say, I'm telling you. It's some stuff that I've seen that'll make you really second guess. You be like, hey man, I don't want to move up to the corporate level. Fuck that. But after a couple of years, you get that dog in you. You be like, shit. When in Rome, Alabama was definitely scared of prom. Hell yeah, as soon as he got the job at Colorado, they had all kind of linemen and everything jumping into the portal. Now, am I saying all of the linemen that jumped into the portal from Alabama are gonna go to Colorado? No, obviously, but shit, they damn sure was in there. You know what I mean? And from all over, not just Alabama. I mean, Oregon. You had all kind of people jumping into the portal just to play with these brothers. Man, these kids are so driven by social media and they're so visual. I watched the Ed Reed highlight video earlier. I damn near wanted to go try to play for Bethune-Cookman. Get out there and tear this other Achilles tendon here. Plus, a lot of people are invested in that their bottom line don't get twisted. Yeah, their bottom line is that money. Their bottom line is that money. Shout out to brother Jeffrey Whitlock, bro. This is my first time seeing you over here, fam. I appreciate you. Appreciate you joining the chat, man. How you on sound, bro? You good on sound? You good on sound, bro? Black Tread. You good on sound, bro? Can you hear me?
Hold on, I'm trying to get my whole situation straight over here.
I got you. Let me keep reading through some of these comments. Many of the HBCUs partake in nepotism and not talent. Yeah, that shit is holding us back, bro. Like a son of a gun. Black schools can't compete with white schools, but black people do not stick together. Yeah, but you got to start somewhere. And I'm not a Hotep guy. Have you seen any of my shorts, man? I used to be, but even though I'm not one of these people who are gonna get out here and try to tell you about Yah and Jah and who else. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I'm not in the Nation of Islam, bro. I do have an affinity towards our people. I'll be frustrated as hell a lot of times because I spend a lot of time trying to grow us and trying to get us to stop doing bullshit. And I try to call a spade, but we got to try to stick together. We have to stick. If we hope to survive, I want to see people that look like us later on down the line. But I also understand that life is short, you know what I'm saying? And you try to do what you can with the years that you're blessed with. And sometimes people give up the fight, man, unfortunately.
So Brother Wrench,
Yes, sir.
we've had this conversation before, so I'm gonna bring it up again.
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line, bro? Because all day long we can talk about Black unity. We can talk about coming together.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about starting a movement. But historically speaking, bro, it's always one of us that joins that movement and eventually sells out, bro. Whether it's through the threat of incarceration, whether it's the threat of death, or even it can be something as the opposition offering you millions of dollars to turn, bro. And we've even had that conversation specifically in regards to Dion when he left his situation at Jackson State, in which, don't get me wrong, I was happy for Dion. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan. I've been a fan of Dion. He was one of the reasons I played football as long as I did. But at the same time, on the flip side of that, I believe Prime got in the way of Deion Sanders, if that makes sense, because he's even stated in documentaries and other videos that Deion Sanders is the man. Prime is the alter ego. That's the personality. So I believe when he got the job at Jackson State, Prime got in front of the media. He got in front of the cameras stating that HBCUs wanted to do this. Like, he wants to do this for HBCUs. He wants to bring all this recognition and bring all these players back to the black atmosphere of school. So you did that. You talked about it. You brought a lot of attention to it. Now, despite what was going on in the background that we may not be privileged to, whether it was money, issues with getting funding, or the pay, pay for his coaches and things of that nature, you inadvertently put yourself in front of a movement, bro. You did. You put yourself in front of a movement. And like I said, I'm happy for Dion, but you left. Not only did you leave, boy, you went to the opposite side of the spectrum, boy. You went from one of the blackest schools to probably the whitest school in the country. You know what I'm saying? And Dion has his personal reasons for leaving, whether it's to make his assistant coaches have more money, thing, and whatever the case may be. But to the outsiders, to the guys who were rooting for you, because especially people like me, 'cause I'm about as pro-black as you can get, militant almost. You know what I'm saying? So to people like me, I'm like, I'm happy for you, Dion. I'm happy for you, but damn, you know what I mean? Like,
So what I would say, bro, is you think about, and I don't want to put your profession out here, but just say you think about if.
go ahead, you fine.
All right, so just say you think about you pull up to a fire, right?
All right.
And you have people that are inside of this burning structure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you risk your life to go in and pull them out. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
risk your life to go in and pull them out. While you're trying to pull them out, what if somebody disconnect one of your air hoses? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how the hose get down, but somebody, not all of them, people are like, hey, yo, shit, the fire department is here, it's time to get out. But just one, disconnect one of your airlines. You're like, oh shit, there's some smoke seeping through this motherfucker, right? And you put it back in, and you put it back in, right? And you carry and you carry one person out, and you go back into this burning structure. And then when you go back in, somebody else disconnected, right? In your spirit, in your heart, you know that you're risking your life for a bigger cause, for a bigger purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times would each time you go in there, you're like, man, every time I run in here, somebody in this group is disconnecting the goddamn disconnecting my airline from my, I don't know what you call it. What do y'all call the mask that you wear? What is the proper term?
It's a SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus. It's kind of the same
right, cool.
thing scuba divers use.
I'm finna sound like I know what I'm talking about. So you run into this burning structure, and
All
somebody disconnects the fresh air from your self-contained breathing apparatus. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And the first go around, you like, all right, motherfucker, stop playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right. The second time, you're like, all right, stop playing. At some point, you're gonna be like, hey man, listen, you got to send somebody else in there. They done disconnected my damn self-contained breathing apparatus one too many times.
Mm-hmm.
This is time number 3. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I would kind of akin it to, is because as you know, bro, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pro-black too. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's at some point, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to hand that shit off to somebody else, because you only got so many years. And then if you are doing it at a certain level, you can risk it, you risk your life depending on what it is that you're doing, trying to get people out of this so-called burning house. You know what I mean?
So I see where I think I see where you're going with it. So if I'm running in a burning building and people are literally waiting there to be saved, that means that they're incapacitated and they don't have a way out. Because if they're able to walk out, I'm like, hey, everybody get up, follow me out. You know what I'm saying? We finna chain link. Somebody grab me, you grab this person. We all walking out of here together.
Okay,
now,
check this out. Hold that thought. If you saying, hey, y'all are able to get up out of this house, they're like, hell no. If you don't come save me, you're a coon. You gotta come in here and get me out. I don't know how to get out. You gotta come get me out.
I mean, that's fine.
You're gonna
Hey,
the
I'm
first
gonna say,
one,
I'm gonna say
you're gonna be like, man, get your black ass out of this house. You better come on with it. You're gonna do the first one. You know what I mean?
So
like, hey,
I've personally had to say that before.
That's what I know. That's
to somebody. But the thing is, one thing I understand too, man, when you're incapacitated, when fight or flight kicks in, bro, and you're a little disoriented, this thing I like that most people like to call self-preservation kicks in. So if I'm coming in and somebody's pulling my air pack, first thing I'm thinking, okay, they can't breathe. They trying to get some oxygen out there. So I'm not
Look,
gonna necessarily
look,
think the worst of it, like they trying to kill me. They just trying to breathe.
bro done stop calling it the self-contained breathing apparatus and everything. He said, motherfucker pulling on my air hose. Shit.
Yeah, you know, because that's the thing. Like somebody pulling on it, that means that hey, either they doing it on accident, just trying to get my attention. Like, hey, I'm right here, save me.
Yeah.
Because it's dark. You can't
Yeah.
see nothing in the fire, bro. Like it's
Yeah.
dark. The only thing you see is smoke.
Yeah.
So you literally have to use all of your senses outside of your vision to try to figure out where you're going. You know what I mean?
So for those of us who have never been in that type of environment, I'm looking at it like all the lights on, the lights may still be on, right? And they just like, okay, yeah, you in here with us, and we want to get out, but you're gonna have to show us how to get out, bro. Like
Me showing you how to get out.
But while you in here, what's this? And they disconnected. Since you here, what the hell is this?
Hey, if the lights are on, then I'm literally saying, hey, the direction out is this way. Get up and follow me out. You know what I'm saying?
But they telling you, bro, they like, nah, man, like you the firefighter. You know what I'm saying? You the firefighter. You supposed to come and get us and walk us out.
Then I'm gonna say you don't want to live. Your desire to live is not great at all. So I'm gonna say this building is about to come down in the next 30 seconds. So I'm about to leave. It's my last trip. If you can walk, come on out.
So that's kind of how I view the situation that we in. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, man, we got some people that they are afraid. And when I'm gonna use the burning house analogy, they are afraid of what is outside of this burning house. They don't have the confidence. They don't have the knowledge of self. They may not have the work ethic. They may not have enough. They may not have enough understanding of the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that ain't even the burning house, bro. That's people in the hood. That's people that's been in prison most of their life.
The burning house analogy that I'm using is the hood. That's what I'm really talking about.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm really talking about. Because you think about it, bro. And I know, Dallas, don't get me wrong, D-Town is you know how it is. D-Town can be the trenches, but imagine if it was situations where people were shooting at firefighters while they're trying to put out a fire. Y'all be like, motherfucker, we're trying to save y'all shit. Like, but hey man, if you can't respect what it is that we're doing, you can't appreciate what it is that we're doing, we'll let all this shit burn. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I akin it to. You know what I'm saying? And then I may be jaded in the sense of I've been directly working with some of the less skilled folks in our group, trying to get these folks to really, trying to get it to register in their mind that, yeah, is it fair? No. Is the world perfect? No. But if you get out here and you actually put some effort into it and you put some knowledge behind you and you take care of what you need to take care of, you can carve out a pretty good life for yourself. But I've run into so many who they're gonna play with the time clock. They're gonna try to wear earbuds. They're gonna push back against the supervisors. They're gonna take long lunch breaks. And as bad as I want to get them out of this burning house, and the burning house being their mentality, the way that they approach life, the way that they think about things, as much as I want to get them out of this burning house, it's like they disconnecting SCBA. It's like they keep disconnecting it. You know what I'm saying? That's the analogy that I'm using is, so many of us, when you're trying to save us, and I think the saying goes, you can't want more for somebody than they want for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, 100%.
And that's the situation that I've run into a lot of times. And it used to piss me off years ago. But as I saw it so much from so many different people, and I understood that the only thing that really registers is pain. You know what I'm saying? It's pain. You got to get them write-ups. You got to get sent home. You got to finish the week with that 36 hours and told don't come in on a Saturday. You ain't getting no OT. Unfortunately, sometimes the only thing people understand is pain. When it relates to this situation with Dion and Ed Reed, and as I'm talking about this burning house based on your expertise,
Yeah.
Like you said, at some point, self-preservation kick in, right? And I think for Prime, I think that he left it better than it was when he got there. So the facilities are better, the field is better. He actually did what we trained, which is pack 2 suitcases. The suitcase that you are gonna take with you when you leave this position, and the suitcase that has everything in it that the next person behind you needs. He did that at Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think it would be different if he just pulled the rug from underneath their feet and left, and they kind of figure out like how to put the pieces together. But I think he did it in a strategic way, and I also think he had to look at all of the people that he affected. You know what I'm saying? All of the people that he had, his kids there, his daughter was there, his sons was there. You know what I'm saying? He's recruited this number one recruit at the time in Travis Hunter. And I think that kind of like how you said, at some point, self-preservation kicked in. And he's like, hey, man, listen, I'm going to leave, but I'm going to make sure I'm not going to leave in as good a condition that I wanted to, but I'm going to leave it better than when I got here. Y'all not going to be taking baths in the pool no more. Y'all not going to be playing on this grass field no more.
Agreed.
I think Ed Reed probably saw that blueprint and was like, hey, man, I can do that too. And even when he was going live, or when, you know, Ed Reed, the guy was recording Ed Reed live as he was going through talking about the situation that happened at Bethune-Cookman. And Prime called in. Prime said, hey, we talked about this. You know what I mean? He was really trying to console him because obviously Ed Reed was really tore up about it. And I think the reason why he was tore up about it is he was like, damn, he had a genuine want to. He was trying to go into that burning house, right? He was trying to go into that burning house, but like we talked about, sometimes at an admin level, somebody probably disconnected his SCBA, man, or was disconnecting his SCBA. You know, and they hurry up and got him out of there. But I think the same thing for Prime too. He went, you know, he didn't leave the first time they stole something from him, or when they was breaking in his son's vehicles and stuff like that. He's financially stable. He didn't necessarily have to be there, and he used a lot of his own money for different things. He wasn't getting paid that much. You know what I mean? So I think, like you said, and then for his age too, you know what I mean? Is Prime going to be around 20, 25 years from now? 'Cause I think he was 50 something, you know what I'm saying? So he like, hey man, you know, if I'm going to really build something, or if I'm really gonna, at his age, he got to take every opportunity that he can, just because he like, 20 years will breeze by. 20 years, he gonna be 70. You know what I mean? In 20 years, we're gonna be damn near 60. You know what I'm saying? So you think about, you know, those are the things that I've thought about, man. I just wish that we could retain that talent. But like you said, there's a lot of moving pieces. It's not as simple as I'm talking through it and making it seem. But for that analogy, when it relates to the burning house, that's what I was talking about. It's just the mentality of us. I think for Prime, it was self-preservation time. He was like, shit, let me get out of here before I be done hurt one of these dudes, or they be done hurt one of us. You know what I mean?
For sure. And I can definitely understand that. That's why I said, you know, a lot of people don't really know the specifics of what went down. It may be some rumors, but we hadn't heard anything directly from the horse's mouth. But, you know, just on the outside looking in, I guess it was that initial, damn, Dion leaving. You know, that initial bite of it, that shock factor. You know, like, God damn.
I felt that too. I was like, motherfucker, no, you didn't, bro. You know, went out here and got all these motherfucking, all this talent, bro, and you gonna dip.
Yeah. But you know, once the dust settles, man, and you just kind of reflect on his time there and what he did for it, man. What he did for the school and, you know, for the students there, you know, ultimately for that program. You know, you understand. You know, people forget. Well, a lot of people didn't really follow Dion there. Some did, but we didn't. A lot of people didn't know the ins and outs of his son's car consistently being broken into, his stuff being stolen out of the coach's office in the locker room and stuff like that. So when all of that information started coming to light, you be like, oh, shit. And probably a lot of us probably would have did the same thing in that situation, especially with his family being down there. Because despite those kids and their expectations of Dion, I mean, first and foremost, he's a father. His son is down there. You know, he has to protect them.
His daughter was down there too.
Daughter down there, so I understand that. And I know it had to be a major culture shock for his kids and the environment that they grew up in to have to go back into Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson ain't Highland Park. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
straight up, man.
So,
You know what, bro? When he was I remember Shador when he played for the Truth, because he like I said, everywhere Prime was, you would see Shador and you would see Shiloh. I don't remember seeing his daughter that much, but you know, I remember seeing him with the kids, and his kids, they had like hood, you know, little hood kids on their team and stuff, and they sponsored some of them. You know what I'm saying? So I think he did a real good job of exposing them to it, but they didn't live in that shit. You know what I'm saying? When we played against the Truth, when Prime was coaching the Truth, when we played against them, we played at Cedar Crest. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you already know how Cedar Crest is. We was in the trenches at the Salvation Army Center. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And Prime was down there with Shiloh, you know, with Shiloh and Shador and them, and like I said, amongst the people. So I think he did a good job of exposing them to it, but he definitely they wasn't living in that shit. After they left Cedar Crest, they went back to that big ass crib in Prosper. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to hear that. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're jumping the gun before getting all the information. Man, you know, as a people, we get emotional, man. That's why, which could be a whole nother conversation. I think part of the reason why, like we was talking about, some people are scared to get out of this burning house is they're using emotion versus logic. But for those of us who figured it out, it's on us then to at least present the opportunity to get out. You know what I mean? And if they don't, then, you know, he said his daughter was a running back for a little bit. Damn, I didn't even know that. I probably did see her. I didn't know she was a running back. I know she hoop. I ain't gonna hold it up too long, brother. Any other points you want to touch on, fam?
Nah, man, not at all. I think this was solid.
Yeah, man. I shout out to everybody in the chat. Finance man, you gotta excuse me, bro. I'll be really trying to throttle it down, but I got a sense of humor out this world, man. So I'll be trying to, bro, no, Black Tread, no. I'll be trying to throttle it a little bit and try to provide some value. Otherwise, this whole channel be based on comedy, and I'll probably be in some trouble. But appreciate everybody stopping by. I'll go back through and watch the live and probably chop it up and turn it into some shorts or something like that. But finance man, guy in the black suit, Mardi, Seek Amethyst, brother Darren Long, Helmet Chili as always. Shout out to you, brother. Who else? Jeffrey Whitlock. Shout out to you, brother. Everybody who stopped by, man. Everybody who's came by and supported, and I appreciate that, brother. Helmet Chili, I got you, bro. I'll definitely check the email. The PayPal that you sent, fam, I appreciate that. I didn't see it during the live. But I actually didn't see it until today. But I'll double back and check that tonight, bro. Let's see. I like the impromptu live. Yeah, man. I when it happened, and normally y'all know me. I normally have a full script and kind of go through it in a way that's organized. But when I saw that video, man, it kind of did something to me, bro. To see Ed Reed that upset, and then to see Prime come in and his first words to him. Did you see when I was playing the video? Of Ed Reed, bro, brother Black Tread?
Nah, I didn't see it, man. I jumped on
a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Ed Reed was explaining the situation, Prime called into his live, and the first thing he told Ed Reed, he said, "Hey, I love you, brother." You know what I mean? Because he could see how upset he was. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's a textbook way of how we help brothers get through. A lot of times we get caught up, everybody tough. You know what I mean? We all have egos and we all have pride, but I think that was a textbook way of how to get brothers out of a dark place. You know what I'm saying? Because you can tell he was tore up behind, he was tore up behind everything not working, you know.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna go through a couple more of these comments, and then I always play music at the end. Prime, from what we see, is a good man. Yeah, man. I think he means well. I think he's going about it probably different than other people may do it, but I think the brother means well. And like I said, I can only go off of the short interactions that I've had with him and what I've seen. I don't know him personally like that, but you know, hopefully he'll get I ain't gonna jinx him, but I think he's a good brother. Black Tread looks like EA Ski from the 90s. Oh, hey, Google that, bro. I don't know who EA Ski is. You know who that is? EA Ski?
I don't know who EA Ski is. Probably a rapper or something.
I don't know. My brother Jamaican, man. He it's probably somebody that hey, Helmet Chili, I thought you was gonna say he looked like Capleton. I was gonna say, damn, man. You know who Capleton is?
Well, I don't look nothing like no EA Ski. I just Googled. That boy got the toes.
I'm gonna bring it up. It's okay for a man to show emotion at the right time. Yeah, man. I had a situation earlier that had me showing some emotion, bro. I ain't gonna even lie, and I'm mad at myself for letting it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just, you know, you can want, like I said, you can want certain things, bro. And as men, I think it's important for us to get used to not having our way. And if it's done right, we get used to not having our way early in life. And then you have to get to a point where you be like, man, fuck it, nigga, I don't even give a shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you gotta let that shit go. Hat and everything. Probably a rapper. He is a rapper from the 90s, not now.
But yeah, finance man, right, man. I think which I had to figure out maybe somewhere around 5 years ago. And you know, don't get me wrong, we all have our triggers on what can easily get us upset and things of that nature, man. But you know, being able to understand your triggers and you know, when you feel your emotions rising up and still able to keep yourself even keel, man, that's some serious emotional intelligence, man. And I think that, you know, most of us have some work to do in that area.
Bro, I got a whole bunch, bro. Cause I go from 0 to 10, bro. And you know my personality, bro. I'm a joke. I'm gonna shoot the shit, bro. But I run hot, and I run hot for a long ass time. And I know the shit ain't healthy. I done been to therapy and everything. Cognitive behavioral therapy. They were like, hey, you need to watch, what is it called? The Secret. You know, that was part of therapy. Like, hey, you need to watch The Secret. I watched that shit. I was like, say, man, you don't work, you don't eat. Hell, you ain't finna manifest a goddamn thing. I'm finna get out here and touch something. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, finna get out here and touch something. But in your line of work, because based on the stuff that you just said, you talked about triggers and you talked about, you know, emotion. You know, you talked about emotional mindset. What are some of the things that, based on your training, and before I ask the question, do you want to tell everybody what it is that that you do as it relates to being on the task force and stuff, or if you
fine, man. Of course, I'm a fireman / paramedic. But over the last 2 years, man, I joined a joint task force with the police department and a local hospital as well, where we specifically tailor our services to those who have mental illness, bipolar, schizophrenia, major depression. We even touch on some elderly people who suffer from dementia and things of that nature. And so we pretty much just assist them in mostly emergent situations. You know, if you have somebody that is wielding a knife in the middle of the street, you know, historically, you know, police show up on the scene and it doesn't end good. But of course, our program was kind of created through the whole defund the police movement, and they just allocated a lot of resources and some funding directly from the police department and used it to create our program, which ultimately helps to divert people from going to jail, divert people from being shot, and divert people from taking up unnecessary space at some of these ERs. Yeah. So if we can show up on scene, de-escalate, provide resources, short term and both long term, then, you know, we're doing our job properly.
Yeah. So, brother Mardy, I think Mardy from H Town. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Mona D. Appreciate you being here, sister. That's one of the beautiful spirited sisters that that swings by and supports. And she was live early. I jumped in and tried to at least acknowledge the work that she's doing, and then I had to try to break off. But what do y'all think about the talented 10th mindset? What are your thoughts, bro?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm Googling what the talented 10th is. I see
Yeah,
it's initially was a book by W.E.B. Du Bois.
yeah.
This is a new subject matter for me. I'm not familiar with it, but
I got you. I can high level it. So the talented 10th, the idea behind it is that the most talented 10% of Black folks
okay.
should really be the thought leaders. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost and for the sake of simplicity, you can say it will be like the Boule. You know what I'm saying? The Jack and
I got you.
Jill.
Okay.
Some people would roll in the Divine Nines. You know what I'm saying? Or a lot of the fraternities and sororities. You know what I'm saying? My personal opinion on the talented 10th is it's never been something that I had a pejorative feeling about because I have a lot of confidence and I have a lot of bravado and shit as it relates to being able to get out here um, and earn a living. You know what I'm saying? I'm also somebody who has been in circles with people of that ilk, I guess you can say. And if you've watched this channel enough, you can tell that I'm a blue collar guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a blue collar guy. So if we sit down at the table, I have table manners. I'm not smacking. I know to put the napkin over, over my thigh, and I'm not gonna have food all on front of my shirt. So I have, I'm a blue collar guy at heart. So in some of those circles, there's an air of conceitedness. And for me, that's not my get down. Now, it may not be all of them, but I know there are some that that kind of operate like that. Shout out to brother A Free. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother A Free. Brother Helmet Chili say, I like this brother on again. Talk about mental health in the Black community. Yeah, bro. You know, whenever Austin Holloman, shout out to him, man. Whenever you look at the metrics, bro, unfortunately, bullshit gets a lot more views, right? For my channel that's small, I'll talk about mental health every day, especially with the people who are subject matter experts, they're SMEs, because it's a learning opportunity for me. But this is my family, bro. He whenever he shoot me a text, be like, hey, you need to go live tonight. I'll be like, all right. But tonight I shot him. I was like, hey man, I need you on, man, because I know that we had opposing views on it, but I think it's the way that dialogue happens. And then at the end of the day, I don't give enough a damn about Prime to damage no relationships with family anyway. But I think it's a fun exchange back and forth. Sister Mona D, you're welcome, Wrench Turner. Hey man, this sister is awesome. If y'all are not subscribed to Mona D's channel, please go over and check her out. She is an ally and she tells it like it is. I heard about that Oreo cookie cheesecake. As soon as I figure out where she is in the country, I'm gonna need to get some of that. I bring my own paper plates. I bring my own. I bring my own plasticware. All of that. I just want to see what it's about. And why some people still prefer to hide it until shit hit the fan. Yeah, my fault, Mardy, bro. That bro from the funky town. From funky town. I don't know if it's Stop 6, but I know he's from the funk. Challenge the 10th. I always get pulled out of the community. Yep. And this is my brother A Free, man. He was one of the mods on Kevin Samuel's channel also. Business owner. He in witness protection for the net. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I told him he got to call in, man. Everybody been wondering. I already know he's not gonna cam up. I think he may be he probably one of these big oil tycoons or something and don't want to show his face. He just kind of ducked off in the back, you know what I mean? But he I think a couple years back he was at Big T doing the Dougie during the video shoot. He said he was out there. He said he was in a FUBU jersey, but everybody was, so you never know. That boy was in there with some of them Wookiees. The Jordan where Jordan had dreads on the shoes. They say he had some on. He was standing on top of a lifted Crown Vic. I thought hitting that damn Dougie. He said, I got too many employees. No, you ain't got to count them up, bro. Just to call in. So I want to be the first to be like, hey man, I got him to actually at least call in. He stayed on for 30 seconds. He was like, yeah, what's up, man? I just want to get on and say what's up and then hang up. So you ain't gotta show your face, bro. Whenever I hit a stack, whenever I hit 1,000 subs, bro, you got to call in, fam. Bro say Air Jordan, Air Jordan 17%. Oh man, brother, hey, free at the building. Got too many employees. Hey, I understand, bro. Look, I shouldn't be showing my face neither because I think I got about over 50. But it's gonna be all right. I done already passed it through corporate. They was like, just mind yourself. Like an old white lady, you need to mind yourself. Get them Air Jordan. They make a Jordan. Jordan had some dreads and had pants on. Jordan had some work boots on. Hey, them Big T specials, boy. It's selling pitbull puppies outside of Wawa. Yeah, for real, man. Them pitbull puppies' ears be long than a bitch. Right off of Ann Arbor, whenever you. I said, man, that's a poodle pit. That hotel ferried in the motherfucker. Like, there ain't no damn pit. They'll have a pit in a bird cage. That little bit ass puppy. I was like, that motherfucker ain't even ready to be off the bottle yet. Y'all out here selling that hoe. 17, man, give me $17, man. Give me $17 for it. Come on, OG. Just buy me a pack of squares. You be like, man, I don't want this damn. They try to put it in the car with you. Just take it. But no, man, I don't want no damn dog, bro. I give you the cage with it, OG. Man, I need some squares in the beer. Like, oh, come on, man. Come on, bro. But I ain't gonna hold it up too long, man. I appreciate everybody swinging by. I'm big. I'm when I have to sit time aside and work, I'm on my big and shit now. So all jokes aside, is it Michael Vick trauma? Michael Vick trauma puppies. Oh, if y'all want to support the stream, man, y'all want to support the show, preferably Cash App. My PayPal is that was some more shit, man. I got my brother Helmet Chili tried to support, but it was acting up on the back end. But turnerrichturn@gmail.com. If anybody want to reach out for consultations, what is the consultation? I am a senior manager, plant manager for a Fortune 500. Been in this particular business for 10 years. If you want to say high value, I consider myself a high value Pookie or Blue Henry by every measurable metric. So a lot of my content is focused on leadership, focused on growth, but I try to put a little edge on it. And I try to simplify all of this corporate information that you can go out and learn and all of these certifications you can get. Try to simplify that stuff and put a little bit of sauce on it in a way where it's a little bit easier for us to digest. As always, man, I appreciate y'all. You got any closing words, bro, before I close the stream out?
Man, just take care of yourself, man. Take care of your mental.
Yeah.
Reach out to somebody.
Somebody played with my motherfucking mental earlier, bro. I say I had to catch myself, bro. I said, man, I got to go live with the bro. But what was you saying? My fault. What was you saying, man?
Nah, I was just saying, just take care of yourself, man. Pride and ego. That's the one thing that sets you on the path for destruction, man. You know, if you're feeling something, talk to somebody. You need to get something off your chest, do that. You know what I'm saying? If you need to cry it out, even as a black man, you know what I'm saying? Call somebody. Just even if you got to go to a mirror and just scream it out, you know what I'm saying? Anything that'll give you another 24 hours to keep going, man. Is highly important, man. We just lost another member of the Department of Suicide not too long ago. Maybe about 4 or 5 days ago.
Damn.
So it's a lot. So just just take care of yourself, man. Remember, you can't pour from an empty glass, bro.
Damn, boy, dropping bars. The talented tent outside of the bourgeoisie could push forward the culture that's needed, not the culture that's shown. Not necessarily the high society, but the high level thinking, even from the blue collar. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, I appreciate everybody joining the stream. I'm gonna drop my brother down, man. I appreciate you coming through, bro.
Yes, sir.
I know your plate is more than full. I'll probably be back home. I know for sure in April, but I'm gonna try to sneak back before then, man. We'll grab some lunch or grab some breakfast or something, man. I know your schedule will be packed. But appreciate you joining, bro.
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
drop you down, but we definitely gonna jam. I always finish it with some music, of course. Shout out to Brother Mardy, shout out to A Free, shout out to Helmet Chili. Appreciate everybody stopping through. That's all Big Bro got for y'all tonight. Y'all be good. Bet.
Take me down off I'm finna quit, 'cause this shit is ridiculous.
Stop acting like a fucking hood rat and bring your black ass home.
You did this shit, yo. You did this. Not only do I gotta be ridiculed by the internet, but I gotta be ridiculed by you.